Hi everyone, this is your next question from CAT 2018, the first lot. Please pause the video and try it once. Okay, so a CAT aspirant appears for certain number of tests. His average score increases by 1 if the first 10 tests are not considered and decreases by 1 if the last 10 tests are not considered. If his average scores for the first 10 and the last 10 tests are 20 and 30 respectively. First 10 tests, the average was 20 and the last 10 tests, the average was 30. Then the total number of tests taken by him is.
So this was one of the two questions which were based on averages in the same slot. You can check out the description where I have given the link for the next question also.
Okay, so first 10 and last 10. Let us suppose that in the middle there were n number of tests taken and the average score in those n number of tests was x. Right? Now let us suppose the overall average score in all those n tests was equal to A. So as per the question, if the first 10 tests are not considered, the average score increases by 1. That means for the middle n and the last 10 tests, the average is 1 more than A, or it is A plus 1. Let us write an equation for this using the weighted average concept. For middle n tests, the average is x, and for the last 10 tests, the average is 30. The weighted average will be n into x plus 30 into 10 divided by n plus 10 is 1 more than the average A, and that is A plus 1 we have seen, right? And similarly, when the last 10 tests are not considered, the average score of the first 10 and the middle n combined is decreasing by 1. So it is 1 less than A, or the average score of these tests is A minus 1. Once again, using the concept of weighted average, we can write n into x plus 20 into 10 divided by n plus 10 will be equal to A minus 1. Right? The next part is we have to simplify these two equations and we have to figure out the value of n from this. Right? So the first equation, I can modify the left hand side as nx upon n plus 10 plus 30 into 10 becomes 300 divided by n plus 10 is equal to A plus 1, right? Similarly, for the second equation, I can split the denominator on the left hand side. Nx upon n plus 10 plus 20 into 10 is 200 divided by n plus 10 will be equal to A minus 1. And in the next step, guys, we simply subtract these two equations. Okay, when I subtract these two equations, nx upon n plus 10 minus nx upon n plus 10 becomes cancelled or 0. A plus 1 minus A minus 1. So A and minus A will get cancelled. On the right hand side, 1 minus minus 1 will simply become 2. So on the right hand side, I simply have a 2 remaining. Again, on the left hand side, 300 upon n plus 10 minus 200 upon n plus 10. These two terms have the common denominator n plus 10. So the numerators get subtracted. 300 minus 200 is 100, right? So cross multiplying and cancelling out 2 from both sides, that gives me n plus 10 is equal to 50. But the question says the total number of tests taken by him is. So first 10 tests in the starting, last 10 tests in the end, and in the middle there are n number of tests. When you add all these three, you get n plus 20. So I need to figure out the value of n plus 20. I already know n plus 10 is 50. I just need to add 10 to both sides. Just add 10 to both sides. I'm going to land up with n plus 20 on the left hand side, and the right hand side is 50 plus 10 or 60. That is the answer to my question. The total number of tests the person takes is 60. So that is one method of answering the question here, guys. There is a very quick method of answering the question here, which I have discussed in my course.
You can check out the description
If you want to understand this shortcut and all other shortcuts in great detail.